I'll let you know. Anyways, so let's start with this. I think we stopped it with the extreme programming last time. We covered paired programming, right? Remember the 3 types? Expert to expert, and expert to
I think we also started Scrum.
novice. We did start Scrum?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Like, from here, just again, keep this in mind because we will compare it to the Scrum. We have to do, doing, and done. Keep this board in mind. Now, refactoring. Did we cover this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, Scrum method. So, we said here we don't have stories, but instead we have a product backlog, right? So this is the list of all possible stories that can be part of this implementation. Then we pick what's known as, we covered it last time, come on. Sprint, exactly. So this sprint will simply collect the task that we will handle within how long? 1 to 4 weeks maximum. So we have to have a deliverable within 4 weeks duration, 1 month maximum. Our meetings still take place every 24 hours. Style is stand-up meetings, right?
Yeah.
And we do it as, like you all stand, and you keep asking yourself 3 questions. Every team member need to answer these 3 questions. What did we do yesterday? What are we doing today? What are the risks behind? Okay? So any possible spike, any possible red flag, any possible risk, we need to keep track of. So each member need to get an answer to these questions. Now the board is a bit different. We look into the entire goal, the entire scope, right? Then what is it that we have to do? Again, as a sprint. So duration-wise, it has to be reasonable within a 1 month duration maximum. What's currently in progress? Because again, remember, we could be applying pair programming, right? So maybe I can split my team and they can still do the job in parallel. So what's happening in progress? What's planned to be? Yeah? And what's currently under assessment? Yeah? And what's already done? So here in that figure, I just want you to look into 3 possible. Okay, so there are 3 main interactive points. First one goes with the product owner. This is our first guy, okay? Second guy here is our team, okay? And that's usually a group of maximum 7 people, no more. And we have Scrum Master, okay? Now, who is that person and who is that person? These are 2 important to know. Again, the team, just like we know, development team could have designers, developers, people for testing, for maintenance. It's a package, yeah? Yes?
The Scrum Master tells the team what to do, defines the work.
Excellent, very good. So we will think of him like a manager, but he's not a manager, okay? So just think of it like a manager. He's an orchestra man, okay? And this guy here is the one that's going to be the key communication channel between these 2 people. So he's a very important actor. Okay, who's going to be the product owner? Anyone knows?
The what?
Product owner.
Because the customer.
The customer? Other options? What? Stakeholders. Excellent. Who else? Companies, organizations. Perfect. Very good. Now the Scrum Master, as we mentioned, he's the person coordinating. Let me show you that in here. So this person could be, as we mentioned, a customer, could be a project manager in a given company, could be a stakeholder, could be an entire organization, depends. Could be the end user representative, right? Because again, we can't reach out to all people, but we can take a group of people, we try to check their own opinion. So this is usually 1. Development team, we know already, a maximum of 7 people in charge of design, of documentation, of coding, of course, of testing, of further work. So this team works with this goal, building things in the right way. Yes? But this person cares for building the right thing, right? Again, this person is the one who's going to move with the backlog. Just tracing, okay? That's what I want. And every time you come to him, with any deliverable or any increment, he's gonna double check and see if this actually maps to the backlog that he has, right? So that person work pair the product backlog. Now this person, as we mentioned, he's the orchestra man. So he makes sure that the communication between these two people is granted. He is the person who arranges for the meetings with the team, yes? And the goal now is not the product backlog. The goal is
Teamwork, connection, the product efficiency,
you're close.
quality, combined.
You're close. A keyword that we just learned. It starts with an S. Sprint, exactly. We care for sprints deliverable, right? So we have a goal to be fulfilled within 1 week, within 1 month. Yeah, we know that this maps to what the product owner actually needs, part of his backlog. Yes, and my responsibility now as a master is making sure that meetings are done on time. We end up with some decisions. Yes, we know our ready sprints. We follow up on our progress. All good? That's my role. Okay. So this person makes sure that it's done in the right way. Sorry, done in the right way, right thing, and also it's done fast. So he needs to keep an eye on all the other people's goals too. Okay, and the most important goal of all, you need to double check that you are following the Scrum process. Yeah. So don't let the team deviate. They need to work pair plan. Okay, let me get back here. So these are common keywords that we will see a lot in Scrum and we need to fully understand. So looking at this diagram here, we see sprint, we see backlog, we see increment. We already talked about the team and how they coordinate. So let's talk about these 3 keywords. So Scrum team, as explained, it's a group of maximum 7 people. And they are responsible of delivering your own software and making sure that all these documents are also delivered. Now the increment, we used to call it what here? So increment is always linked to a sprint, yeah? Because we do it on a regular basis, like every week, every 2 weeks, up to a month. So this is usually delivered from a sprint, known to be shippable. And I will highlight this a lot. This word is not easy. What does it mean to deliver a shippable product or shippable sprint? It has to be functional. Okay, so I'm not just giving you, okay, this week I will create this button for you. Makes no sense, yeah? It has to be shippable feature. So it's like a component and I'm telling you, okay, this is ready now to test. Oh, this is actually tested. So when I come to you, even testing should be over, okay? So shippable, again, this is very hard goal to reach and that makes sometimes Scrum a very hard model to follow. But in general, again, we work pair a backlog, which is usually maintained and kept by the product owner. There are 2 types actually of this backlog. One is known to be product backlog and the other is sprint backlog. Do you know what is the difference between both? There is product backlog and there is a sprint backlog. Sure, go ahead.
For the product, it's what the product needs to do or how it needs to function, while the sprint is what the team needs to do to get the product there.
Okay, so again, think of it like big features, then how you subdivide these features into deliverable sprints. Again, we agreed the sprint duration is very short. So if my task, for example, is to create a payment system, that's my goal, right? That's now a backlog item. How would I create sprints out of it? Can you give me any example? So that's the big task. Subdivide it.
What's the big task here?
Creating a payment system.
A login, like a login system maybe, that stores data.
No, payment, just a payment. Like we go for Amazon, let's say you have payment, like when you click pay, yeah? We call this forward payment system. Read your voice.
Different options on how you want to pay.
Okay, so providing an interface with multiple options. That's one.
They need to calculate the total for the object.
Okay. Including that, let's say, making sure that the amount is accurate, reflected accurately with any coupons, any discounts. This is counted for. Excellent. Okay.
Being taken to the chosen destination.
From to the right destination. So when you click, let's say, a button, you're taken to the right,
Like for example, if you want to process payment with your credit card, then it will take you
to the right homepage. Or okay, nice, good. So yeah, we call this navigation, right navigation. Excellent, very good. Yes. What else? Any security related? Yeah.
Making sure money is actually taken from.
So making sure that the amount, the card is valid one first. So you need to double check the details that the customer is putting for you. You need to make sure that this card is actually valid one. Yeah. Then you need
also, the card needs to be safe, that not be used or stored in the company's data.
You need to
Okay.
validate that the card is
in
that
many
person.
cases, by the way, it's saved. I'll talk about this. Okay.
You need to make sure the card is for that person.
Okay, so validating the card details, this is one, okay? Then validating the amount, that the balance that you're having actually covers the cost of whatever you want to purchase, yeah? Because again, I could have a card that has a zero balance, and I try to put this for payment. What's the point? So first, double check on the validity of this card. And the second is, make sure that it has the right balance, yes?
Also making sure the transaction is secure.
Security, exactly. This is very important. Many people can use fake data. I mean, just go search for fake credit card information. You will find many websites. And if your system is not meant to validate well, anyone can actually use this and trick you to get the item. Yeah? So security is very important, especially when it comes to payment systems. So all what you discussed right now is simply listed to be a sprint item, or we call this sprint backlog item. Okay? So this is now the key difference between these two backlogs. Again, it's a list of to-do stuff. So backlog usually keeps track of what's not finished yet,
Sorry.
not things that are done. Yes.
The backlog is the payment system.
Yeah, could be. One of which could be payment system.
And
Yes.
then what's the story?
That's the story. So the entire system is something similar to Amazon.
And then okay.
One of which could be payment, one of which could be cart, one of which could be showing products, one of which could be updating, let's say, stock, right? So each of them is a backlog item. All together, they build your system. But then look into each of these and subdivide more.
So backlog goes into stories, goes into sprints.
Yes, backlog. Okay, let's assume it's this way. I have a one big page, okay? That's what I call backlog.
Yeah.
Every item you place in it
Story.
is a whole story, exactly. Now take every story, subdivide more, make sure they are delivered within 1 week, all the way to a month. This is what we know as
Sprints.
sprint. Very good. Okay? Now these sprints together is what we call it sprint backlog. Okay? Make sense? No, good. So again, backlog here, keep track of the to-do features, items, in terms of features, definitions, requirements, user stories, everything is here tracked, well tracked. Okay, now let's look into phases and deliverables, okay? So this is how we read our model, from here to here, okay? We start with reviewing what is it to be done. We agreed we have a stand-up daily meetings, yes? But we discussed 3 main points. What did we do yesterday? What's left for us today? And what is the risk, yeah? So we need to look into what is to be done. Then select. So out of this scope, you select simply what's going to be done today or let's say this week. We plan the sprint, yes? And we provide it. Then we review it. And again, here you need to validate back with your to-do list, the initial one, making sure that you did the right thing, right? and you delivered this as a shippable component. That's our goal. Now, in between these phases, we have simply some outcomes. So in between the review and the selection, we prepare the product backlog. Who takes care of the product backlog?
The product owner.
The product owner, thank you. So product owner is here, yes? Then we have between the plan stage and delivering our sprint, something we know as sprint backlog. Who managed the sprint backlog? Scrum Master, very good. Then we finish this, we end up with our potentially shippable software. Tamam? Again, this happens in incremental fashion. So this cycle keeps on repeating for every sprint. So this is how Scrum usually works. To help you clear this, that's a sample of how backlogs can actually be made. So this is a sample for backlog item. Let me show you. Okay, so allow a guest, let's say, to make a reservation. I want to cancel a reservation. This is another backlog. Changing dates of the reservation, so updating your own reservation. These are big goals I want in my system, right? But how to achieve? You go for the sprint backlog, where you take one of these stories and you try to subdivide into sprint items. Now, every sprint is given a full duration over a span of 1 week. That's the shortest we said, yes? So we can manage to find this done within the first week, second week, third week, fourth week, perhaps fifth and sixth, as long as this sprint is done. Some of these can go in parallel, as we explained before. So I can take, let's say, 2 in parallel, 1. So this will make it delivered totally in 4 weeks, which is within our sprint goal, yes? Now here, what we specify is the number of hours we will put on this task on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. Now once it's done, this is empty, it means you're ready to move to another task, yeah? So again, looking into your tasks is very important to define dependencies. Tasks in general are of different types. Remember we had this discussion before? No?
Function.
No. Yeah, okay. No, not this. So when we look into 2 tasks, there is a possibility of concurrency, right? That things happen in parallel. Like what? In payment system, let's say, what happens?
Oh, like it's transfer.
Like you confirm your payment, and at the same time, the amount gets deducted, right? So these 2 happen in parallel. And you need to verify and make sure that the amount is reflected before you confirm the order. So these happen in parallel. We can't say that something waits another thing. No. The point here is you need to look into these tasks usually when we plan for it. We define its own dependency in terms of end to start, or start to start, or start to end. Yes? Make sense? So some tasks need to start for others to end. Some tasks need to end to use this as an input for the next task. So this is end to start. Yes? Some others will be start to start, so you can start both at the same time. Yeah? Some others can start on a different time, but they have to end together. So we call this end to end. Yes? So this is usually defined by an arrow. When you put these later in something we know as a Gantt chart, you go into defining these dependencies between your tasks. Anyways, so is it now clear? The backlog for the product versus the backlog for the sprint? That's a sample. Okay. Let's go for a sample case study. Okay, who can read this aloud? Yeah? Yes, please.
A startup plan to build a mobile app that allows users to manage investments and make instant payments. Requirements included frequent UI UX changes based on user feedback and compliance with evolving financial regulations. The team adopted a process to manage complexity and rapid change. 1 2-week sprints delivered incremental features, authentication, real-time transactions, dashboards.
Yeah.
2 daily stand-ups ensure transparency and fast decision-making. 3, sprint reviews and retrospectives encourage continuous improvement and better estimation of workload. 4, by focusing on product backlog, refinement, and cross-functional team collaboration, they achieve faster time to market, improved security measures in each sprint, and enhanced stakeholder satisfaction.
Very good. Okay, now we have this keyword, faster. Okay, so again, incremental models, agile paced models, they all follow the fast fashion of delivery, right? So this can tell you this is incremental. Yeah. Now, which type, which method we're using? Is it extreme programming? Is it pair programming? Is it Scrum? That's what you need to answer here. Okay. So let's look at some keywords. Changes. Okay. What else?
Sprint.
Sprint. Very good. 2-week sprint. Okay. What else?
Product backlog.
Again?
Product backlog.
Product what?
Backlog.
Backlog, exactly. Product backlog. Excellent. One more.
Daily stand-ups.
Daily stand-ups. Very good. Excellent.
Rapid change.
User feedback, of course. Rapid change. Yes. So again, all of these will help you define that this is agile. And of course, the keywords, sprint, backlog, whatever, these will give you hints towards Scrum model. Okay. Let me get back here and show you something interesting. So this is actually back to agile, extreme programming. So remember we did say that we split our work into stories, yes? So if this is the entire description of our system, like how it's gonna function. So for example, the record of patient must be open for input. Click on medication field and select either current medication, new medication, or formality. If you select current medication, you will be asked to check for the dose. If you wish to change the dose, enter the new one and confirm prescription, and so on. This is a description, right? So this could be the entire list of requirements sent to you by the customer side. Out of this, you need to form your cards of, what do we call it? In extreme programming, what do we call it? Stories, exactly. Every story is going to be a card. Remember when we talked about sticky notes? That's what we do. We give it a title, we give it a description. So these are our stories. If time allows, I want to...
Is it like exactly like this? It's just like a bunch of words?
Yes, usually description comes to you in documents.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, if this is the
So
best
even
case,
the
yeah,
stories
we're not
is-
saying this is the best case. Because in many cases, you will have to write this even yourself based on your discussion with the end user or the stakeholder. So you will have to come up with all list of requirements, and then from these requirements, we take this into stories. Later, when we move to design, you will see that every story is called a use case. And every use case has its own diagram. Okay, for example, login. Login is a feature in your application, yeah? Who are the actors that will be able to log in on your system? Let's consider Moodle. We have faculty, we have admins, we have students, so 3 actors in charge. The way they log in involve other processes. Again, look into the subtasks behind. What's behind login? Entering username and password. Very good, that's one. Authentication for these entered data. Very good. Excellent. A possibility for linking it to a register, new account, if it's possible. Or it could be blocked by admin side, like in Moodle. You can't actually register your own account. And so on. So this is later will be mapped to design phase. Okay, I will end it here today. So that's simply the end of our second chapter, and inshallah we will start a new topic next week. All right, do we have any questions? Please.
For the midterm,
Yes.
is chapter 2 included?
Part of it, just part. It's just gonna be a small part, maybe 10, 15 slides, no more. Next week, yes.
And how do we like recommend
How do we recommend?
How do we study?
How do you study? I think you studied well for the first quiz.
Yeah.
No? Just follow the same technique, okay? Again, my goal was not the midterm. It was not the quiz. It was the midterm, okay? So again, look into the possibility of, I'm not going to give you the question straightforward, okay? But the answer will be straightforward. And I think you saw this already in the quiz. Yes, please. How many questions? You have a 1 hour and a half, I guess. So we can say 15 to 20 questions.
Nice.
No. No, I mean, okay. No, I mean,
Any drawing.
you will get a variety. But anyways, it has to be within the duration specified to your exam. So it's not going to be much. Okay? You don't. It's not about drawing. I'm not testing your drawing skills. It's not that. The content in the drawing is what I care for. Yes.
Like, do we have to know the diagrams for every single process and every single model?
Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Yes.
So like, I have to know some technologies and like how the rectangles are, what errors are.
So far we have 5 models, right? That's what you covered already in the quiz. In addition, we have Agile, Scrum, XP. That's it. 3. So that's all you have. These are all the diagrams we have. Again, spot the difference. That's important, okay? Because all of them, they cover the same phases. Requirements is there. Specification is there in all models, yeah? But again, how you put it in the right model.
Doctor, what do you mean with drawing?
I can ask you to draw for me a model.
Please don't.
I can ask you this. I told you I'm not going to ask you straightforward one. بس يعني I'm just giving you a heads up. يعني. This could be one.
Doctor, would you ask for justification?
So okay, I'll come to you just a minute. If I asked you to draw, let's say, the V model,
They have to write everything inside.
that's not hard. You start with this. That's requirement, system specification, architecture, design. On the other side, you have testing.
It has to be the exact like wording ولا عادي.
Some has to be the same. I mean, acceptance test is acceptance test. You can't change it.
It's basically memorization. Do you want to test this on scenario-based questions to see the applications instead? You want to.
So instead of asking, okay, I can give you a hint, okay? I can give you a hint. Good, that's a good sign. That's common. So, okay, I'll tell you something. I'm not gonna go by the book, okay? Exactly, I have to see this and that. But there are things based on a scenario I wanna see. Yeah? So for example, if I asked you, instead of giving me the name of the model, I can ask you to draw the model for me. So I give you a scenario and I ask you to draw the model. Is that hard?
Without writing. That's hard.
Yeah, based on the scenario.
So let's go for incremental. So same exact scenario, let's say I gave you in the quiz.
Doctor, I would cry.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are kidding. That's incremental. Oh, so fast.
ما ينفهم والله. هذا الثreads from where؟ بس واحد كذا كذا.
Up to down,
لا هذا مو
left to right,
اللي قبله شوفي.
left to right.
بس ايوه هو كيف ينقري هذا فوق تحت.
This one, then this one.
طب بنسوي الشادو
Then
ولا هذا
these are just outputs.
Wait, doctor, how
So the
does
cycle ends here actually. These are only outputs.
دكتور عادي نبلع يعني مش هم 8 اختصريهم خلاص عشان يعني يستغنى
Okay, for drawing I will limit you. Okay?
دكتور you don't limit يعني من 8 يصير 5 لا
So I can make it easier for you. I can make it easier for you. In the question I can give you 3 possibilities. Okay?
no it's not
No, then we're gonna have to memorize all of them.
اسمع اختاري
Just for the drawing part. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can limit this as well. I will pick this. All right, okay. Thank you.
So doctor, for the drawing part, you're gonna like pick specific.
Yeah.
Just for the drawing part, because you have to know all for other questions.
And then we pick and we
Okay?
But that's like, you have to justify it.
You can justify.
But that's like, but they ask the question, like, it's not exactly correct, but I justify this, and those things are correct.
At least that will give you a credit of understanding the content you're putting. So this, at least, even if this is the wrong answer, this gives you a credit, partial one. Yes, you could. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're running out of time. Okay. Prepare your QR, please. Oops. You don't have internet? Like, I'll go through the name, all of you. You have? Like, whoever doesn't have internet, let me know. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day. Okay, I will record it here. Without